Hello, this is Megan from Amnesia Center. We're back for the next tutorial on JKC. Today, we will see how to integrate the EBS asset into GameKit controller. This video will be divided into 4 parts. Importing EBS, creating the layer, creating and configuring the character, modifying scripts, and creating EBS parts and integrating JKC Inventory. To install EBS, you obviously need to have purchased it from the Unity Asset Store. The link is shared in the video description. Once purchased, we open Unity. As you know, to import Easy Build System into your project, go to Package Manager. To do this, click on Windows, then Package Manager. Here, we select My Asset, and in the search bar, type EBS. Then, click on Download, then Import. In this window, it lists what will be integrated into the project. If not already done, click on All, then on Import. There! EBS is imported, and we can now close this window. The very first thing to do is create a layer on JKC. So, we select Player and Game Management, click on Default Layer, then Add Layer. We go to slot 28 and create the layer socket. This will be assigned to all EBS objects. We can now move on to part 2 and start the integration. For this, we will open an EBS scene. Click on Easy Build System, Packages, Demos, and select Free Camera. To avoid potential future problems, we can duplicate this scene by pressing Ctrl D, then rename it. And it is in this scene that we will make the modification. First, we will move the map elements that are in position 0. Otherwise, they will quickly get in our way. Select Demo Gray Box and move it slightly to the side. There! That's done. At this stage, there are several options. Either you already have your player prefab and can integrate it into the scene, or you will create the character from scratch. That's what we will do for this tutorial. Click on GameKit Controller, then Create New Character. Select the prefab Alice, which is the default character in JKC. Click on Instantiate, then on Show Settings list. Check the first box, Use Template. Here we will select Basic. Click on Update, and here in Player Mode, type Simple Mode. Now, click on Create Player. There! Our character is created. We will start the modifications. Step 1, we select Demo Free Camera, and we will remove the components, camera, audio, and the demo free camera. Select Camera and delete it. Select Audio and delete it. Select Demo Free Camera and delete it. We keep these 2 components. It's important. Next, we click on the player, and we look for main camera. Player 1, character, main camera transform, main camera. And we move demo free camera to main camera. And we uncheck it to deactivate it. Then click on player controller, scroll down to player state manager, then click on player controller. If the tabs are open when you get there, you can close them with a little arrow to make it cleaner. So, on Player State Manager, scroll down to Player Mode List. In Player Mode List, if it's closed, you can click on Show to open it. Select Simple Mode. Scroll down until you find Simple Mode. This is what we chose earlier. Here we will add 6 events. 1, 2, 3 in Activate, and in Deactivate, 3 as well. 1, 2, and 3. We will reduce player controller, and we will put the demo free camera in the first slot. Select Game Objects and set Active. Leave the box checked. We will do the same for Deactivate. Drag Demo Free Camera, Game Object, Set Active. The box is unchecked. And leave it like that. For the second slot, we will look for player camera. Select player camera, hold down the S key until you find Set Move Camera Position with mouse, wheel active state. And uncheck the box to disable it. Do the same in the other. Look for player camera, select player camera, hold on the S key until you find Set Move Camera Position with mouse, wheel active state. And here, check the box. For the third slot, select Demo UI. Then Game Object, Set Active. Do the same Game Object, Set Active, leave it unchecked here. That's it for this part. We will just check one thing. Scroll up a bit, and here it must be on Simple Mode. If it says Weapons, change it to Simple Mode. We now move on to part 3, modifying the scripts. In this penultimate step, we will have to modify some scripts. To make it simpler, we have created a page. The link is in the video description. We guide you step by step with the task instructions and the code to copy-paste. Step 1. Open the script Building Placer and place this piece of code just below before region events. We go back to Unity. Start by searching the script for Building Placer. Open it with your preferred code editor. To open the search, press Ctrl F. Look on the side for what modification to make, copy region event and paste it into the search. So, just before this line, paste the code. Click this button to copy all the code. Make a small space and Ctrl V to paste the code. And continue like this for all the code pieces. Step 2. Search for placing build part. Copy the code. You see that you need to replace the entire method, from here to here. Select everything and paste. Step 3. Just after what we did, paste this. A small space and paste. Step 4. Search for Destroy Building Part. Copy the code and replace the method. We're done with this script. Press Ctrl S to save. And go back to Unity to check the console for errors. There are some warnings, but no critical errors. Everything's fine. Click Clear and move on. Step 5. Open the script Building Placer Editor. Before the first end region, add this code. Make a small space and copy-paste. Step 6. At the end of the method onEnable, you will need to paste. It's here between these two brackets. Copy the code and just after this bracket, make a space and paste. Step 7. At the very end of the script, there is a if guy changed. Copy the code, scroll down to the bottom, and make a space just before and paste. It's done! Save by pressing Ctrl S and check the Unity console that everything is fine. Everything's fine. Perfect. Let's move on. We will now modify the components. Go back to Demo Free Camera. Keep the building placer, but remove the demo input. Click on Add Component and look for what we modified. Get Object from Inventory System. Rename it to EBS Free Camera. Check the first two boxes. In the first slot, drag EBS Free Camera. For the second slot, drag the player controller. Open Raycast Settings and place the main camera there. Then scroll down to the bottom, Main Inventory, and in this last slot, drag the player controller. We are finally done with that. We can create the EBS parts. Open the Building Manager. You see, there's already a collection of building parts. Click on the foundation and drag it onto the scene. Select the prefab and open it to select the foundation object. So you can see the mesh and click on it. It shows us its location in EBS, Demo, Bases, Modular Parts, Models. That's what we will need to use, the mesh, not the prefab. Now we will create a JKC object. Go to GameKit Controller, create new inventory object. Here, look for Category Inventory List. Click on Show. You can create your category. We will select Others. Inventory List Show, Add Object, and here, New Object. Names are very important and they must be the same on EBS and JKC. Here, take the building name to copy-paste it. Go back to the new object.
Then, in Object Mesh,
select the mesh, not the prefab. For the icon, use EBS object that has one, so you can use it. Scroll down and click on Create Inventory Prefab. So now we have our JKC Inventory Prefab. You can select it and drag it onto the scene. To put it directly in the player's inventory, click on Game Controller, Others, and select Main Player Inventory. It redirects us to the player controller and its inventory manager script. Scrolling down, there is Initial Inventory List. Click on Show, then Add Inventory Object, and Add Object. On this new object, paste the same name and click on Update Inventory Name. Click on Update the Inventory List. Then click on Category and choose Others. Finally, select our foundation and click on Update Name. We have one foundation in the inventory. change it to 4 for the example. Then, you can select the foundation, you can duplicate it with Ctrl D, select the trigger and increase it a bit so you can grab the object from a bit further. Then, select the prefab and click on Override and Apply All. You see, it's applied to both. It's good. Let's switch to play. Oops. Move them and check that the collider is set to convex. Move it up a bit. Reduce it and check convex.
That's better.
Enlarge the window a bit. In the inventory, you see we have 4 foundation. Place 2 and it will deduct them from the inventory. And we're done with this tutorial. There, the integration of EBS into GKC is finally complete. This video ends here. See you very soon for the next one. Until then, be creative, be kind. This was Megan from Amnesia Center. Kisses!